Hello everybody, welcome back to WhizDum Wednesday. It's a weekly podcast where I basically talk about certain situations or feelings that may happen to you in your everyday life and to provide a wiser choice in the midst of those problems. It's hopefully to bring you a new perspective in life. So my goal here is to make you a whiz out of making wise decisions and to steam them up to make them even better. I'd like to start this video off saying we only have actually one real update to talk about in this WhizDum Wednesday, so it's going to be a short little update section. We have our WhizDum Christmas limited edition mugs on our store now, so it's pretty cool. So it's merch.streamelements.com/SirDerpyCreeper. If you want to pick yourself up a nice looking WhizDum mug, and it looks different. Okay, it's not just color change and that's it. I added some little jingle bells to it too. It was pretty cool. So if you want little jingle bells singing and stuff and having a WhizDum mug that looks pretty cool in a Christmas style, go check that out on Stream Elements. Oh, I messed up again. The link always messes me up, homies. Merch.streamelements.com/SirDerpyCreeper. That'd be really cool if you could check it out. My mom, Mama Derpy, bought like 2 of them, so that's pretty cool. It was pretty rad. So they're definitely a good Christmas gift. So if you want yourself to drink some WhizDum juice in the Christmas season, that'll be really cool for you to pick up if you'd like to. It'll be on the store probably until mid-January, I think, and then I'll be taking it off because I kind of want, I want to have people have a limited edition thing. Plus, I don't want to sell a Christmas mug around, spring, all right, or summer. That'd be kind of odd. So, but I'll try to bring it around like a seasonal thing. Like every seasonal thing, you have the opportunity to buy it, but it's only seasonal. I think that's a cool idea to kind of have like, people can have things that only come around like once a year or maybe even one time only. You know what I mean? I want to try to experiment and stuff like that. So that'll be really cool. If you missed last week I talked about Whisper. It was my day back after like 2 weeks of being gone. Technically 2 weeks. We can say one for real week being gone, but 2 weeks of being gone. I basically talk about gossip, about how when you're younger you have this game you play whenever you pass a whisper around the room, and then it's sometimes, almost all the time actually, because it's how gossip works, ends up different than the original whisper that was whispered. So be careful with gossip. I talk about talking bad about people in your life, talking bad over them, gossiping. I even bring up some great quotes from gossiping that are about gossip, and it's pretty good. It's some pretty cool stuff. So if you missed last week, it's WhizDum Wednesday Whisper. It'll be really cool if you could check it out. It's and definitely if you struggle with drama, gossip, you talk bad about people, and let's be honest, we have all talked bad about people in some sort of way in our life. So it's a good thing to just get a reminder of, hey, listen, yeah, I'm stepping on your toes, and I'm not sorry. I hope me stepping on your toes is actually going to help you improve. But it's the truth. Gossip's terrible, no matter what it is. Even if it's a little bit, even if it's a little sprinkled, it's still bad. So go check it out if you can. And anyway, let's get started with our awesome segment. So with Thanksgiving literally tomorrow, I thought it'd be a good time to talk about a segment on gratitude in a way. So you're probably like, what the heck's welcoming? Is it different from welcome? I was like, yes. Usually what I'm talking about welcoming here is when you're a welcoming person. But in a way, it's more of the response to thank you. Because a lot of the time when someone says thank you, we say you're welcome. And that's why I wanted to call this welcoming. Because I feel like we should touch on gratitude. Being grateful for what you have. Not being ungrateful, all right? And here's the thing, I'll admit this, and this is just how it is. We as Americans, especially, are probably one of the most ungrateful people ever. And it's because we don't see the outside. We kind of just see ourselves. And I kind of want to help, maybe differ from that mentality of it's just ourselves. You know what I mean? It's not just us. And a lot of the times we have people who think it's just me, and there's nothing worse than that. I'm living the absolute worst life that I can live, and that's not true. There are plenty of people who live way worse lives than you. Now, don't get me wrong. Doesn't mean it's not bad that you're living a certain life that you're living. All right. Don't get me wrong at all. I think bad is still bad, no matter how big the bad is or how small the bad is. But there are some people who have it a lot worse than you do. I'll take you for example. You may have a house. Do you have a house? I think it's pretty cool you have a house. I have a house. How many of you people who have a house have it provided by your family instead of you? Are you grateful for them for it? You know, do you thank them? I think it's a good practice to thank your family. Hey, thank you for not kicking me out. You know what I mean? Thank you for not tossing me aside whenever you had the ability to. I think that's one of the gracious things you could do. And I want to say that, you know, maybe you're not homeless. You know, there's plenty of people out here who are homeless. We have good lives. A lot of people have good lives. I think, what is it? 3% of America has an unemployment rate. Maybe they're homeless. They live in poverty, man. Especially now during Corona, man. You should be thankful you have a house to live in, because here's the thing. It could get ripped from you. I kind of want to go into the definition of gratitude really quick. The definition for gratitude is the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for and to return the kindness. That's what gratitude is. It's basically saying, you know, hey, I thank you because without you, I wouldn't be where I am now. That is a thing you probably need to say to a lot of people who you are thankful for. And I want to go into this book a bit. Character Matters. They have a whole section on gratitude. I'm not going to read the whole section. We'd be here forever. But there's some great key points that are inside this book that I kind of want to share with you. One good thing in this is that I want to share is that it's a chapter called Gratitude, Character and Celebration. So it's Character Matters by Mark Rutland, and very good book. Recommend it. I recommend it 1000%. But one of these good, there's quite a good quotes in here, but I've highlighted a few. Gratitude is not only something amongst the very highest virtues, it is synonymous with the deepest and most profound elements of scriptural holiness. Now, doesn't necessarily, now, if you're not a holy person, sorry, my throat. If you're not a holy person, you're not a person who just wants to get into anything religious, anything like that. That's understandable. But gratitude's still a great thing that you'll need, you know. And this is kind of what I like the way gratitude is described here. Gratitude is of the spiritual universe that includes humility, contentment, and praise. Gratitude is diametrically opposed to pride. So you could say it's basically the opposite of pride, you know. Pride is where you're not showing your gratitude because you feel like you'll look like a weaker person in a way. And that's not true. Here's the thing. Just because you want to thank somebody for being in your life does not make you weak. If anything, it makes you more weak than the actual person. It's almost like this, you know, people have the stereotype somehow of if you're a man and cry, it means you're weak. No, in my opinion, if you cry and you're a man, it means you're strong, all right? You're not scared of being weak, so you hide your feelings. Dude, like, that's messed up. Don't not show gratitude, all right? Show gratitude as much as you can. It doesn't mean you're weak. Honestly, I think it means you're putting yourself down to lift someone else up because they've done a lot for you. I'm grateful for all the people that I've had in my life here. And, you know, you should be too. Where you're at right now probably wouldn't be where it is now because of the other people in your life. Maybe that God has provided you, or if you don't believe in God, maybe the people that have came into your life that have willingly wanted to help you. I also have another thing in here that I think is really cool that it says in here. It says, the reason we resist the life of unending gratitude is fear that thank you implies responsibility. What the corrupt character wants is to be free from responsibility to in any way pay some of it back. The great tragedy of the affluent West is its pathetic ingrates that the affluent who think that somehow or other they deserve it all. And that is where I'm kind of wanting to talk about in a way. It's like, you don't deserve it all. You don't. I don't deserve it all. You don't deserve it all. Here's the thing. We don't even deserve what we have. And we have it. That's beautiful. And we should be highly grateful we got that. Because we could all be homeless. We could all be surviving like cavemen still. You know what I mean? But we were able to progress. We were able to go through more. We were blessed to have experiences in our life that most other people don't have. Or that have our own experiences that help us in our own journeys in life. I want to share a story from the book. There was a very, very, very good story, which I might share this around Christmas time as well, just letting y'all know, because this is a very, 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 very good story. This is a very good story. So Mark Rutland here, he writes here on page 143 in Character Matters, Gratitude, Character, and Celebration. He writes, I remember one Christmas season in Ghana, West Africa. At the home of a college president, a sophisticated, educated Ghanaian, I don't know if it's Ghana or Ghanaian, don't hurt me please, trapped in a nation on the brink of a nightmare. I learned so much about gratitude. In 1980, there was nothing in Ghana. The borders were closed, the shelves of the stores were empty, and the people were hungry. Christmas Eve was also the birthday of the eldest son, a senior at his father's college. No one had a single present to give him. I myself had little with me. I was actually living as they were living, but I wanted to give that boy something for his birthday. I took a used t-shirt out of my luggage, washed it, folded it, put it in a box with an American $10 bill, and wrapped it in with plain brown paper. At supper, I handed the boy his one modest gift, and if I live to be 100, I will never forget the college student weeping with gratitude over a used t-shirt and a $10 bill. You see, he got something as little as a t-shirt and a $10 bill, and he started bawling from it. You know, I mean, that's gratitude. This man was thankful to get that one single gift. Didn't care what it was. It was one single gift, and he started crying for it. You know, a lot of the times we sit here and we think, you know, we don't think about these third world countries. You know what I mean? Like, they're out there trying really hard to survive, but you know, people like America, Japan, Europe, you know, we all kind of have it easier. You know what I mean? Australia, we kind of have it easier than most people, like Africa, Indonesia, places like that. We have it super, super easy. But we always forget, you know, those people have worse things, and we're very ungrateful. That's why you should be grateful for what you have. You got a roof over your head. You got people who care about you. You get a lot of birthday presents, I'm pretty sure. You don't get one birthday present, do you? Be grateful for what you have, the people you have in your life. Another thing from this book, I'm not going to read the whole book for you, but I guarantee you should read this book because it's a very, very good book. The well-developed character says, this is more than I deserve. This is perfect. Not, this will do, not, okay, I guess, but thanks. This is perfect. And I do not deserve perfect. Ingratitude is actually a form of selfishness, and it can be devastating to the feelings of others. And I kind of want to talk on this. This is another thing that'll probably be me stop talking about this book, but I love this book, guys. Seriously, it's a freaking good book. Is to appreciate what you have before you lose it. You don't know when you're going to lose somebody in your life. You don't know. And the moment you be ungrateful of somebody's time, I've seen this a lot actually, where somebody will be upset with somebody because they don't have enough time to spend with somebody. Or they feel like, you know, they're avoiding them, stuff like that. And it's just like, that's not the case. You know, sometimes they're just busy. They're dealing with their own lives. You know what I mean? And the moment you're ungrateful of someone else's time as well, you could lose your friend. You could lose your family. If you're ungrateful for them even being in your life, you could lose them. And then you're like, man, I was so wrong. And you can't take it back. You can't. Because they're gone. If they're gone, you know? You cannot take that back. That's why you need to be grateful for what you have. Grateful for the people in your life, because here's the thing. If you be ungrateful towards them and what they do with their life, you could lose them. Never see them again. Maybe they don't want to be your friend anymore because you're ungrateful of their time, the way they are, who they are, how they are as a person. Because you're selfish and self-absorbed. You're ungrateful. Break your mind open from that. I got a little bit of a story. The story from the book again. Yes, this book's freaking great. I guarantee you'll love it. He says here about under ingratitude is the selfishness, and it can be a devastating to the feelings of others. Mark Rutland talks about how a funeral he preached at a few years ago was one of the truly discouraging moments of my ministry. A lovely Christian woman, an elderly lady, had died suddenly and left behind a husband who was not strong in the Lord and who had only attended church a few times. Her casket was literally blanketed in the most beautiful roses I have ever seen in my life. I commented to the husband, "Sir, I have never seen these roses like these. These are beautiful." He said, "You know, preacher, Margaret loved roses. She was a real sentimental woman, sort of woman. She always wanted me to buy her roses. Buy me some roses, buy me some roses." She would always say. She always used to say. "I'm not really into that sort of thing," he explained. "I never did buy her roses. I guess I just didn't want to waste money and time on stuff like that." "Well," he said brightly, his moist eyes shining, "I'm making it up to her now." The fool! He was not wanting to make it up to her. He was pouring salve on his own conscience. "Husband, buy her the roses now. Don't lean over a coffin and say the words you always meant to say. Oh, honey, I think you're wonderful. Tell her now. Children do not face the day that your mother says, 'Daddy isn't coming home from work. Something terrible happened at the office,' only to realize you never said, 'Thanks, Dad.' Don't be 40 before you suddenly realize that the clothes that you've worn did not get magically washed. I do not know who I thought was washing my clothes when I was a teenager. The only thing I knew was that they appeared in my chest of drawers every week. Now I realize that the brownies that were not in there doing the laundry. I did not deserve a mother who washed my clothes until I graduated from high school. I do not deserve the wife who does it now." You need to realize that you need to tell what you need to tell other people now. You don't know when you're going to lose them. Like this husband here. He was sitting there lamenting over his passed away wife, and he just now decides to buy her flowers. And then he says he's making up for it. No, it's because he never took the initiative to take that. And now he's sitting there thinking he's making up for it by giving her flowers at her funeral. And that's not the case. Sure, it's a step forward, but that's not it. Because how is she going to know? You know? It's why you need to tell people the things that you need to know. That they need to know how you feel. Be upfront with how you feel. There's nothing wrong with being upfront with how you feel, how grateful you feel, how grateful you are with people in your life. You know, a good thing I have with a couple of friends is that we always tell each other we appreciate each other a lot. I think that's a good practice. Start doing that, because here's the thing, if you don't start doing that, you're probably going to lose people you care about. Don't expect people to just magically say, "Oh man, I'm thankful for you." You know what I mean? And so it starts that conversation for you. No, you need to be that person that overcomes yourself and that fear and say, "Hey, I appreciate you. I'm thankful for what you do for me. You know, I know I don't have a license. I know I don't have, the house in my name. I know I don't have my own car. You know what I mean? But I'm thanking you because you take me to places. You let me drive your car. You know, stuff like that. I'm thankful because I have a license. I'm thankful to God because he gave me this life. You know what I mean? For the Christians who are ungrateful, listen, here's the thing. God could have put you in a way harder place. Don't be ungrateful. Don't be ungrateful to your family. Here's the thing. Yes, sometimes our families are not very good things, all right? But you still have a house under your head, right? You still have a house on top of you. You still have shoes on your feet. You still have the clothes you wear. And if you're older than 18, I'd like to say, and you haven't been thrown out of your house yet, you should be grateful to your parents, like, every day. I know I said I'm not going to do another one, but I'll do one more from the book, and then I'll be done. All right, homies. There was one really good one. Oh, there's actually a couple of good ones. Okay, wait. Okay, there's two more good things. It's not spoiling the whole book, but this is some real good stuff. Remember, this is Character Matters by Mark Rutland. I really love this book. So, and this is all I'm going to say from this section. I'm not going to read giant parts, but there are two things that I really want to read. One thing I'm not going to actually read from the book right off the bat, but I remember what it was about. It was about an adopted son who lost his mother and his father, and he had to stay with his grandparents, or his aunt and uncle. And they're old, and they decided to take care of them. And Mark Rutland was talking to him and said, you know, what's wrong? And he says, well, they don't understand me or anything like that. And he said, well, why don't you just show them some more gratitude? And then he said, what do you want me to do? Say thank you every day? And he said, yes, say thank you every day. Because here's the thing. They could have said, no, we don't want the kid. They could have been like, no, just put him in an orphanage. But they didn't. They're old, and they decided to take through the time to raise a teenager again after they already raised teenagers. Be grateful for something like that. You know, if you're adopted, if a family member took you in, be grateful they took you in and didn't throw you out on, like, you know, to where you had to be somewhere you probably didn't want to be, or have to grow in a life that you didn't want to grow in. Sure, you didn't want to grow in with this other family member, but guess what? You'd have to grow with some complete stranger or something like that. Now, don't get me wrong. There's been a lot of great stories where people who were adopted had great family members. All right. I'm just saying that, like, it's an odd experience when you feel like you're not wanted, though. And you're put in an orphanage rather than having a family member take you in. Be grateful for something like that. One thing I think is a cool thing that one of the biggest things I got from this book, and this is more on the Christian side, so hopefully you Christian majestic people get something good out of this Character Matters book. So in the book it says, gratitude as well as ingratitude can become a habit of life. We can begin to see everything that happens to us as an opportunity to praise God. Gratitude can be added to character. Leonard Ravenhill told of a minister who visiting a horrible insane asylum in the UK sometime in the latter part of the 19th century. As the minister walked in the front door, a man in the second-story window pressed his face through the bars and shouted down to the visitor below, "Have you thanked God today?" "I have," the pastor answered. The inmate said, "But have you thanked him for your sanity?" That spoke to me in volumes, in a way, because, you know, a lot of the times, I never thought that I'm thankful to have a sound mind. Because we have a lot of people who are in insane asylums. And for us who have sound minds, we never realized that, like, man. And I took it for granted. I'm going to be real. I didn't think about being thankful that I don't have an insane brain, that I didn't go off on the deep end for anxiety, that I didn't go off the deep end for overthinking, you know, getting myself in such a deep pit of overthinking, anxiety, and worry that I'm sound of mind. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, sometimes you can definitely drift, but I'm glad I didn't go off on the deep end and go insane from it. You know what I mean? I never thought about being thankful that I am not insane, that I have my sanity, you know? It was a mind opener to me. I was like, wow. So be thankful that you're sane. Be thankful in a lot of situations of life that you may not understand. Be thankful for your living areas, your family, your friends, the things you have. Listen, a lot of the things that you have, probably a lot of people don't have. Heck, I went from a laptop, all right? I went from a laptop on a wooden desk with a little wooden chair. Wasn't bad. I was thankful I had it. Then it moved on up to a bigger desk. Moved on up to a gaming chair. Then that moved on up to a PC with 2 monitors. You know, a mindset of gratitude could really take you that far within just a year. I'd say gratitude has gotten me a better place. Gratitude can get you to a better place. And don't use that as a reason to do it, by the way. Be grateful because of the fact that it's right. It's the right thing to do. It's healthy for the heart to be grateful, too. Don't be jealous of what other people have. Appreciate what you've got. Listen, here's the thing. I could have looked at a bunch of other people. Man, look at these guys. They got 6 monitor setups. They got a freaking PC that, like, runs like a mad tank that's over $12,000, all right? You know, they got all these cool things, you know. They got a green screen. They got their own place. They got all this stuff that I don't have. And if you let that get to you and you'll get yourself jealous over something like that, you're going to bring your own downfall. If you're jealous of what other people have, you're most likely never going to get it. Be grateful for what you have. Work your way up. Be grateful for the family you've got. We all have different learning experiences in life that we should be grateful for, because here's the thing, some of our learning experiences in our life are meant for us only to help other people as well. Sure, this person may have 12 monitor setups, may have a big gigantic like audience that watches them, but in reality, with my experience of growing up, I may be able to help one person that person can't. That's the difference by us growing in different situations. Now, I'm not saying the person who has this monitor set up isn't going to help anybody. Don't get me wrong at all on that. But if we confuse with they've got it all because they've got a lot of good stuff on their side, they've got a lot of high quality stuff, you're gonna fall. You're thinking about the wrong things in your area. Appreciate your meaning in life. Be welcoming. Be thankful and be welcoming. You know, if someone ever thanks you in your life, make them welcome. Be there for them. You say, hey, thank you. You know, thank you for telling me this. Be gracious. Be grateful. I don't know who needs that, but you really need to realize, you need to crack open your mind and just realize the world around you and say, hey, I've got to thank some people before they're gone. Because you don't know what the future holds. Heck, you don't know what 2021 holds, all right? You saw how bad this year got for a lot of people. Don't waste your time being scared to put yourself down and say thank you. You will regret it. For those of people who have already lost people, I mentioned this in Wither, is that, you know, it's a thing you'll have to face within yourself. If you've already lost the people and can't really tell them thank you, I'd say just go and talk to them in some way that you can that makes you comfortable. I'm sure they're still looking on towards you, but it's better to tell them in the living life than the afterlife, you know. But you still can make amends with that. You don't have to beat yourself up anymore over it. Here's the thing. The more you beat yourself up over a past mistake that you regret saying something, the more and more it's going to drag you down and hurt you. Instead, let that moment prepare you for something in the future that you won't ever miss a second again, you know? If anything, you could see it as this. Maybe that moment right there was to prepare you for something even greater that you really needed to express to somebody in the future. We all go through learning experiences, you know? It's always not fun as well. Sometimes it's never fun. But you have that ability to make amends, you know? You can make amends by not letting that moment pass you up again. I'll do some small recaps, all right? Thank God for your sanity. Thank God for your life. Okay, there you go. If you're a Christian or even just a person who doesn't believe in Christianity, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, we have a freedom of will, and there's nothing, you know, if you disagree, that's fine. That's understandable. But if you're a Christian, be thankful for God giving you what you've got, because listen, here's the thing, you could be living in a third world country, all right? And then you'd have to deal with massive faith problems over there as well. Be thankful for where you live. If you feel like God's not talking to you, well, here's the thing. He gave you a great place to live at, especially if you're in America. If you live in Australia, Europe, England, doesn't matter where you live. Be thankful. Go thank your family. Go thank your friends. Thank you. Put yourself down. Don't let your pride get in the way, because here's the thing. Pride is a very counteraction of gratitude. Do not let your pride get in the way. Your pride will eat you alive and tell you, oh man, you don't need to do that. Listen, you're the big man on campus. You're the coolest dude in town. You don't need to tell people thank you. They already know it. If you don't live a gracious style or a gracious life or a grateful life, they're not going to realize it. They're not going to say, whoa, he's thankful for what I have. He's thankful for what I've done for him. She's thankful for what I did. She's thankful for what I've done for her. They're not going to say it. They're not going to be the grateful. You need to show your gratefulness. Show your gratitude. Show it to your family, especially during Thanksgiving. I think that's one of the best times to do it. All right, listen, I understand sometimes Thanksgiving can get political. All right, listen, here's the thing. All right, I think y'all need to make a rule. No politics at the table. All right, listen, politics ain't cool. All right, especially if you've got split different politics people on different sides of the table. All right, we don't need screamers and people with guns fighting each other. All right, got to be careful. All right, just don't bring politics to the table. All right, if you bring politics to the table, you're clearly an ungrateful person. Don't do that. All right, listen, you're asking to stir a bomb up. Don't stir a bomb up. But just you know, have the talk with your family during Thanksgiving if you want. Now I understand it's kind of awkward. They're gonna be like, whoa, but just tell them, hey, I'm thankful for you. I know I've probably never said this before, and You know, it's hard for me to say it, but I'm trying to do better, and I want to let you all know that I'm thankful for you. You gave me this place to live. You created a great environment for me. I'm thankful for you all. You know, that'll make their hearts feel a lot better too. Heck, you may even get someone to cry, even yourself, man. I almost cried saying something like that. And that's a good thing too. If you can cry with your family, that's one of the best things you can do, man. Don't sit there and let pride take over, because here's the thing, pride will rob you of telling you what needs to be said. Thank God for your sanity. Be thankful that you're sane. Because let's be real, if you were insane, you'd either be a mass serial killer or someone who's in a freaking asylum or a mental ward. You don't want to be in those. That's gotta be horrible. Tell people what you need to tell them now. Don't be like that husband that laments over his wife and then clears his conscience, thinking his conscience is going to be clear because he gave her the flowers when she was dead rather than the flowers when she wanted them now. Don't be like that. Be grateful. So I hope you all enjoyed that segment. I didn't really talk a whole lot on it, and guess what? It's still going to be a 40-minute video, but I try to make it short as possible, probably. But I want to say thank you all for listening. All right, Thanksgiving's tomorrow. Listen, seriously. Tell your family. Tell them. I will keep drilling you. I will drill you this after the freaking segment, you Twitch people. I guarantee you, after Twitch, you're going to hear this on the live stream. Talk to your family. Tell them. All right, listen. All right, it's easy to get caught up and to feel like, oh, they already know, but just tell them. This is one of the greatest times to tell them is now. Be thankful to God. All right, God gave you a great life. Be thankful for that, man. You could have had a worse life. Heck, you even get a family to eat Thanksgiving with, man. I believe in you. I believe that you can do it. You can build up that courage, you know, that 20 seconds of courage and let it out. Heck, you may even improve your family's relationship with it. You know what I mean? Also, meant to mention this earlier, be grateful for your relationship. They're your past relationships. The ones that help build you to the now. Be thankful for them. Be thankful for the experiences you've went through. I wanna kind of, I know this is kind of like towards off the end of the segment, but I wanna just be real, and I wanna say I'm thankful for all of you. I'm thankful God's provided me with people like you in my life. You know, especially on Twitch and YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, any wherever y'all come in and tune in from. All right, it doesn't even have to be on here. It could be just from like me playing games and having good laughs and stuff. And I'm thankful for all of you. Without y'all, I probably wouldn't even be where I am right now. All right, I'm so glad God gave me y'all. I really am. I mean, just from this year alone, I went from, like I mentioned in the segment, I went from a wooden table, wooden chair. Heck, it wasn't even a chair at first too. That's what's crazy about it. Laptop with a few wires, and moved on up to a desk and a better chair for my back. And not only that, now I got 2 monitors and a PC that I built myself, pretty much for the most part. I couldn't have gotten there without any of y'all. You know, for a lot of people, this year's been really bad, but to be honest with you, this is one of the best years I've had in my life. I'd say, was it 2016? I think 2016 was my best year, but this definitely topped it. I mean, I started Twitch in January, and it's been great. I can't be more thankful than that, you know. I literally, guess what? After the segment, you're gonna be thanked a heck ton. But seriously, thank you. It amazes me. I'm still not used to it, you know. I've been so used to a laptop for like what, a few years, man. Just recording on a laptop, setting my mic up on a couple of boxes, not even having a mic stand, and moving on up to this all within a year is just it's still weird, you know. I'm struck by it, and honestly, I think it's a great thing. I'm struck by how thankful I am for y'all. So seriously, you know, I want to say that, you know, if anyone's not showing you any gratitude, even if the people have, I want to show you my gratitude and say, hey, without you, I would not have this. And the U.S. government, but forget them. But yeah, I thank you. So anyway, I got Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I hope you all can check those out. Those are some pretty cool platforms. If you want to see majestic hand videos, Instagram's the place to be. Just letting y'all know. But thank you. Thank you again. I already said thank you. But we also got this on Spotify and SoundCloud as well. So if you want to listen on those platforms, please listen on there. That'd be really cool if you can. I got YouTube where I post my WhizDum Wednesdays if you want to go check them out, just in case the Twitch VODs get deleted after a while. And I've got Twitch, for example. So Twitch is where I live stream the video and then I talk about it with my chat afterwards and get some good insight on a lot of things. So I really hope that this helped you all out, and if you got any feedback, please let me know. And I love feedback live, I'm just gonna be honest with you, but don't feel pressured to go, you know, go to my Twitch stream and go, whoa, listen, I'm uncomfortable. It's like, no, listen, if you need to DM it, you know, there's nothing wrong with that either. But I will say this, I'm thankful for y'all. Also, it's twitch.tv/SirDerpyCreeper, but be thankful. Remember, tell your family. Tell them what you really feel, all right? Now, if you're gonna be mean, don't be mean. All right, let's just be honest. All right, if you're gonna be mean to your family, even though they let you stay in a house, honestly, you need to change your heart because it's ungrateful. You need to be grateful. Be thankful for your friends, your family, your relationships, the things you have in your life. All right, don't try and rush them. Don't try and get them out there as fast as you can. Be grateful. Thank some people. Thank the people that really mean the most in your life. Thank them. Seriously, send them a text. Call them. Tell them what they've done for you and how much better you felt. Anyway, I hope this was able to make you a whiz out of making wise decisions and to steam them up to make them even better. Until next WhizDum Wednesday, have a great rest of the week. Not west of the week, but west of the week sounds pretty cool. WhizDum Wednesday West? Ooh, all right. Y'all have a great rest of the week.